So good day everyone. We are the reporters for the topic Almanac. So for today's report, we will be exploring what Almanac is all about. So what is Almanac? Almanac is an annual calendar containing important dates and statistical information such as astronomical data and tide tables. So basically, Almanac is an annual publication that includes weather forecast and other miscellaneous information arranged according to the calendar of a given year. It is published annually, so meaning every year the information is current. Those information about the previous year or possible information about the future year, lahat ng yon makikita dito sa Almanac. Almanac is also a book of facts. It contains facts about weather, people and sports, planets, important days, inventions, cities and countries, and all sorts of interesting things. Lahat ng gusto mong malaman, makikita mo dito sa Almanac, especially if you don't have any computers or smartphones. Almanac is very useful. You can use it if meron kang gustong malaman because Almanac can be also a tool for finding informations, just like, yun na nga, mga important holidays, events, and other miscellaneous topics. And also, if you want to know history and basic encyclopedia information about a state, country, etc., this is also often available in an almanac. So almanac are used for several purposes such as predicting astronomical events, supplying historic climate information, forecasting weather patterns, and making planting recommendations for farmers. So ito na yung mga calendrical and astronomical articles and data. Ito yung mga predicted dates kung kailan ang example, sun or moon rise, tide times, dates for winter, and many dates and facts that can be calculated for a few years in advance. Just like for example, yung book na The Old Farmer's Almanac. If you want to know about weather forecast, planting charts, astronomical data, recipes, and articles, you can also use The Old Farmer's Almanac as reference. This book is not all about farming. Baka isipin nyo na lahat ng informations dito is all about farming because of its title, but no. Though it has topics about gardening, but it also includes sports, astronomy, folklore, and predictions about on trends in fashion, food, home, technology, and living for the coming year.
Examples of almanac. So first we have here the Time Almanac. This was published in the United States in 1947 as the Information of Almanac by Dan Gallon Pope. The name was changed with the 1999 edition when Time magazine bought naming rights of Almanac. Next, we have Farmer's Almanac. This was an annual American period that has been continuous publication since 1818. Published by Geiger of Lewiston, Maine. The Farmer's Almanac provides long-range weather predictions for both the U.S. and Canada. The periodical also provides calendars and articles on topics such as full moon dates and lore, natural remedies, and the best days to do various outdoor activities. So Farmer's Almanac also includes weather, calendars, gardening, fishing, home and living, astronomy, holidays and events, and folklore. Next is the Old Farmer's Almanac. This was a reference book containing weather forecast, planting charts, astronomical data, recipes, and articles. The Old Farmer's Almanac has been published continuously since 1792, making it the oldest continuously published periodical in North America. The publication was started by Robert B. Thomas and follows in the heritage of American almanacs such as Benjamin Franklin's Poor Richard's Almanac. So, Old Farmer's Almanac also includes weather, astronomy, gardening, calendar, food, home, and health. Next is the medieval almanacs. So, after almanacs were devised, people still saw little difference between predicting the movements of the stars and tides and predicting the future in the divination sense. Early almanacs therefore contained general horoscopes as well as the more concrete information. In 1150, Solomon Jarcus created such an almanac considered to be among the first modern almanacs. Copies of 12th century almanacs are found in the British Museum and in the universities of Oxford and Cambridge. In 1300, Petros de Dacia created an almanac, Savilian Library, Oxford. Next, early modern era. In England, by the second half of the 16th century, yearly almanacs were being produced in England by men such as Anthony Ham, Thomas Buckminster, John Dade, and Gabriel Friend. In the 17th century, English almanacs were bestsellers, second only to the Bible. By the middle of the century, 400,000 almanacs were being produced annually, until its deregulation in 1775. The Stationers' Company maintained a lucrative monopoly over almanac publication in England. So, next in British America and United States. The first almanac printed in the 13 colonies of British America was William Pierce, 1639, an almanac calculated for New England. The almanac was the first in a series of such publications that Stephen Day printed each year until 1649 in Cambridge. Next is the contemporary use. Currently published almanacs such as Whitaker's Almanac have expanded their scope and contents beyond that of their historical counterparts. Modern almanacs include a comprehensive presentation of statistical and descriptive data covering the entire world. Contents also include discussions of topical developments and a summary of recent historical events. Next example is the GPS Almanac. As part of the data transmitted by each GPS satellite, contains course, orbit, and status information for all satellites in the constellation, an ionospheric model, and information to relate GPS-derived time to coordinate universal time. Hence, the GPS Almanac provides a similar goal as the ancient Babylonian Almanac to find celestial bodies.
Good day, ma'am. I'm going to continue about the types of almanacs. So, first types of almanacs, which is the printed almanac. So, printed almanacs was devoted as much space as astrology and prophecies and predictions of the future as they did to the basic cylindrical and astronomical. So, the second one is the student's almanac. So, it was the bridge for connecting among students, class teachers, subject teachers, schools, and parents. It was also a cross-curricular source of information that your students learn a lot. So, there is also a benefits of students' almanacs, which is, it is an effective tool for students, teachers, and the parents for keeping a lot of information for a long time. Next is online almanac. So, online almanac is an American almanac, a traditional almanac presented as a mobile app. Canadian Almanac and the Directory Grey House Publishing Canada on online searchable database. CIA World Factbook, which is information, and Sri Lanka Almanac Vidyut Koshaya. Next is Special Purpose Almanac. So there's a lot of example of purpose almanac. Our special purpose almanac, which is the almanac for farmers and city folk, almanac Crocavis and Annum, Bloom's Farmers and Planters Almanac, Grier's Almanac, and Jewish Yearbook. Next is the Astronomical Almanac. So, one of the example of Astronomical Almanac, which is the Air Almanac. Astronomical Almanac, Astronomical Phenomena, the Astronomical Pocket Diary on 1987's present, Multi-Year Interactive Computer Almanac, the Nautical Almanac, which is present under various titles which prepared by U.S. the Naval Observatory and Her Majesty Nautical Almanac Office since 1958. And the last one is the Star Almanac for land surveyors. Next is the Astrological Almanac. So name of number of Jyotisha Almanacs is Panjika. Gupta Press Panjika and the Raffles Ephemeris Company Limited. Fictional Almanacs. So, an fictional almanacs is a book of the days from various This World's novels. A version has been published as the This World Almanac. So, the next one is the Gray Sports Almanac, featured in Back to the Future Part 2. A travel guide to the... A fictional almanac is a travel guide to the islands of the Abarat from the books of Abarat novels by Clive Barker. Next is Almanac Calculator. So, there's also a lot of example of Almanac Calculator, which is the Kanipuyar Shankaran Nambodiripab. Then, next is the Jacob D. Gelder, Isaac Haring-Yushen, Dirk Jas Van Dam, Ian Alberts Van Dam, and Dirk Rimbarts Van Nerop, and Matthews Van Espin. So, those are the example of calculators almanac. Next is the Satirical Almanac. So, there's also an example of Satirical Almanac, which is the areas of my expertise on 2005. And the last one is the Sports Almanac, which is the Athletic Almanac by Spalding Athletic Library. So, what does almanac mean? So, almanac is a publication containing astronomical and meteorological data for a given often including a salary or of open information. So, are still almanac used today? So, almanac is still used today because in order to determine the weather predictions for the year, it was edited by Robert B. Thomas. He is the first student of solar activity. So, an astronomy and the weather patterns. He also used this information to develop a secret forecasting system. And this weather prediction still used today. So, what is the importance of almanac? So, the importance of almanac is was to bring more information to people. So, almanacs provided a knowledgeable facts that would benefit people in their day-to-day lives. Whenever the almanac was brought honor to American colonies because it also changed the way they were written. So, not only were almanacs used as a source for reference, but they also used to add entertainment, like poetry and the humor to them. So, the almanacs from American differed from the one established in other countries. So, the importance of almanac was to teach people valuable information and to bring a form of entertainment for them. So, it was also an important piece of literature. Thank you.